Hello and Namaste. I am Ketan Kank from 19.2 Consulting. After having considered or after having interpreted Rule 6, there is one more rule which is very important for the investors to understand, and that is Rule 7. The Rule 7 deals with refund of the shares or securities from the fund to the investors. Rule 7 contains in all 11 sub-rules. We have divided Rule 7 into 3 parts, and there will be 3 separate videos. Those will be coming on Rule 7. In part 1 today of Rule 7, we will see from sub-rule 1 to sub-rule 4. So let's proceed with Rule 7. The title of the rule states Refund to claimants from fund. Let us see what sub-rule 1 has to say. As per sub-rule 1, any person whose shares, unclaimed dividends, matured deposits, matured debentures, application money due for refund or interest thereon, sales proceeds of fractional shares, redemption proceeds of preference shares, etc. has been transferred to the fund may claim the shares under proviso to subsection 6 of section 124 or apply for refund under clause A of subsection 3 of section 125 or under proviso to subsection 3 of section 125 as the case may be to the authority by submitting an online application in Form IEPF-5 available on the website www.iepf.gov.in along with the fee specified by the authority from time to time in consultation with the central government. So as per Rule 1, investors have to reclaim their shares, securities and investments from the IEPF. An application has to be made in prescribed form IEPF-5. That is a e-form. Now it is a web form also. That is a e-form and a web form which is available on www.iepf.gov.in. That's sub-rule number 1 of Rule 7. Let's proceed to sub-rule 2. Sub-rule 2 says, upon submission, form number IEPF-5 shall be transmitted online to the nodal officer of the company for verification of claim, provided that the claimant, after making an application in Form IEPF-5 under sub-rule 1, shall send original physical share certificate, original bond, deposit certificate, debenture certificate as the case may be, along with indemnity bond, any other document as enumerated in form number IEPF-5 duly signed by him to the nodal officer of the concerned company at its registered office for the verification of the claim. Now, if you recollect, we have talked about the procedure to be followed post filing of the claim. This is exactly the provision through which that procedure derives its authority. So once the claim has been filed, the original documents have to be sent to the nodal officer of the company so that the Form IEPF-5 gets transmitted to the nodal officer of the company, and the nodal officer and the company can follow the procedure or take the procedure ahead once the claim has been filed. Now, proceeding further, there is sub-rule 2A. What sub-rule 2A states is that every company which is required to credit amounts or shares to the fund or has deposited the amounts or shares to the fund shall nominate a nodal officer who shall either be a director or chief financial officer or company secretary of the company for the purposes of verification of the claims and coordination with the Investor Education and Protection Fund Authority. Now, this rule states that a person has to be nominated as a nodal officer. That person can be a director, CFO or a CS, company secretary. In normal business operations, it is usually a company secretary of the company who is designated or nominated as a nodal officer to deal with the IEPF issues and to work as a link between the company and the IEPF on behalf of the shareholders. Sub-rule 2A further states, provided that the company may appoint one or more officers as deputy nodal officers to assist the nodal officer. This is merely an administrative provision. Next, it says, provided further that the nodal officer shall solely be liable for all actions of any officer appointed as deputy nodal officer. So, even deputy nodal officers, as in one or more deputy nodal officers are appointed, the burden or the responsibility is not shifted from the shoulders of the nodal officer. It is merely for the operational convenience, but the responsibility still remains with the nodal officer of the company regarding any documentation which undergoes while reclaiming of the shares or reporting to the Investor Education and Protection Fund Authority. Provided also that in case the company fails to appoint nodal officer, every director of the company shall be deemed to be the nodal officer and be liable for any failure of the company. So in case the nodal officer is not appointed, every director of the company is deemed to be the nodal officer of the company. Subrule 2B states the details of the nodal officer and deputy nodal officer duly indicating his or her designation, postal address, telephone and mobile number and the company authorized email ID shall be communicated to the IPFA in form number IEPF-2 within 15 days of the date of publication of these rules, and the company shall display the name of the nodal officer and his email ID on the website. So there are two kind of responsibilities which are casted on the company. First, after the appointment of the nodal officer or deputy nodal officer, it has to intimate it to the Investor Education and Protection Fund Authority through Form IEPF-2. So it will contain all the details of the nodal officer which are required for the ministry to know. And second responsibility which is being casted by this rule is that the company has to publish the information on its website. Provided that any change in the nodal officer or his details shall be communicated to the authority through form number IEPF-2 within 7 days of such change along with the word order. So first part of this rule, sub-rule deals with the appointment of the nodal officer and intimation towards it, and part 2 states with the intimation or information to be provided or returns to be filed if there is any change in the nodal officer. Sub-rule 3. What sub-rule 3 states that the company shall, within 30 days of the date of the receipt of the claim, send an online verification report to the authority after verification of the details in form number IEPF-5 in the format specified by the authority along with all documentation submitted by the claimant, and shall attach the scanned copy of all the original documents submitted by the claimant in physical form duly verified by its nodal officer along with the e-verification report along with a scanned copy of both sides of the original physical share certificate or original bond or deposit or debenture share certificate cancelled and certified, provided that if the online verification report is not sent by the company within 30 days of filing of the claim, the company may do so by paying additional fees of 50 rupees for every day subject to the maximum of 2,500 rupees. Provided further that the company shall be liable to maintain the original documents submitted to it by the claimant and shall produce such documents wherever required. Provided also, so there are further provisions to this sub-rule. Point here is that after the claim has been filed, within 30 days, the nodal officer has to file an e-verification report to the Ministry of Corporate Affairs, that is Investor Education and Protection Fund Authority. We have dealt in detail about the concept of e-verification report in one of our earlier videos, so the audience or the investors can refer to those videos. Now, talking about sub-rule 4. Sub-rule 4 states that after verification of the entitlement of the claimant to the amount claimed, the authority and then drawing and disbursement officer of the authority shall present a bill to the pay and accounts office for e-payment as per the guidelines. B. To the shares claimed, the authority shall issue a refund sanction order with the approval of the competent authority and shall credit the shares to the demat account of the claimant to the extent of the claimant's entitlement. So, in this video, we saw what is the procedure to make the claim under Rule 7. In the next videos, we will deal with the other aspect of the refund procedure which are laid down under Rule 7. Should you have any query relating to the refund of the shares, reclaiming of the securities, dematerialization of shares, you may please feel free to contact us. You may reach out to us by simply marking your comment in the comment section of this video, or you can write an email on info@nineteenTwo.in. Till the time, this is Ketan Kank signing off. Thank you so much.